This is set number 4818, Dragon Rider. This comes from Knights Kingdom, the original series of it. This was released in 2000, the year 2000. This is part of a wave of 4 different sets, which you could combine together. Each of them had one silver part to them, and you can combine them together to make a minifigure that has a helmet, a sword, a shield, and armor as all silver pieces. It was really cool to collect. I only have 2 of them, unfortunately, but this is one of the better ones of the 4, in my opinion. This set has only 11 pieces, 1 minifigure, and I'd like for you to take a guess at the retail price. Did you guess yet? Okay. $5. $5 for each of the sets in this mini wave of Knights Kingdom sets. It's really cool to see. I've seen almost all of them in stores at the time of their release, but I only got 2 of them. The other ones, they're okay. You can check them out online if you want. But this one is the first one of those 4. I am happy to review this. This was sold in a box, a very small box. If it was as big as, like... Let me grab a set over here. If it was as big as Crook Pursuit, it's probably, I don't know, kind of a surprising size. But relatively that size box, actually, if I remember correctly. Just a little bit more square in its shape. I knocked a few stuff over, by the way. So, this is very easy build. It actually did come with instructions on how to build the wings, put all the parts together for the dragon and for the minifigure. And it also had on the back of the instructions, I apologize, I don't have them with me right now. It had on the back of the instructions how you put all those silver pieces together to make one really cool Cedric the Bull. That's the main figure in this set. We'll take a look at him right now. Here he is, Cedric the Bull. He is the leader of the Bull Knights. You can see his face a little bit better once I take this helmet off. He's a very, this version of him is pretty plain, if not for the helmet. And there's a little story with the helmet, by the way, once we get back. The torso printing is very nice on him. It's probably one of the first figures I've seen that had the belt printing. So it was very cool at the time. And Knights Kingdom also had a few others like that. He also carries a long shield on him. And also has a giant axe. Now, we'll take another look at this helmet. Now, the funny thing about this helmet, I've used this many times with Cedric and maybe a few other minifigures. However, sorry about that. However, you may notice there's something a little bit odd about him. If you look up images of this set, you'll see there's a little bit of difference. And basically the difference is this. There are a few small pieces that usually go onto the front of these helmets. So if I were to put this helmet on Cedric instead, like you'd find him in other sets, you can see there's a little bit of a masking of his face on the front of the helmet. The chrome silver one doesn't have that because they broke off. It's the one thing I don't like about this set, if I had to dislike anything, because they're just very flexible. They're very, even the other one is, on any of the helmets that are of this shape, they're very easy to move, and that's basically what happened in this one. It moved a little bit too much, and it also sometimes gets in the way of the minifigure head if the pieces are too close to each other, so it does have a tendency to break off. Unfortunately, this is the only one of those helmets that I have break off, not one of these. So we'll take a look at that around the other side. Very nicely done. I was really happy with this. Probably one of my favorite small sets ever. Not only because of the dragon, but also the minifigure is excellent. To get him at this kind of level is pretty cool. I don't think you get Cedric this cheap until about maybe the $20 level. So getting him in a $5 set is really nice. I do have a couple versions of him from a lot of more expensive sets. So now let's take a look at the dragon. Man, is this awesome. This is not the first time that LEGO's released a dragon. In fact, it's not even the first time it was released in a small set. There has been a set featuring Basil the Bat Lord, a little series from Castle shortly before this one, that featured the set for a little cheaper. I think it was like $4.50. But here's a look all the way around of the dragon. He's huge. He stands on 3 studs wide, so he doesn't actually fit with most standings. I had to turn this around just because the tail was in the way. So I apologize if my hands are in the way of the shot. Oh, hold on. Now I'm just sitting on here, right? There we go. He does have a couple articulate parts, but there is a main base to him that's made up of one piece. Okay, so let's talk about this dragon real quick. These wings can flap back and forth. They do have a clip function on there, so it's very easy to use that. I even have some other versions of wings in different colors from other sets. So here's how it looks with another color on. You can have it all the way up and almost all the way down. I wanted you guys to see if the black color was appealing at all. To me, I like the translucent orange color. It's kind of a rare one for this time period, and even after this time period, they didn't have it very many times. Plus, it just fits with the dragon a little bit better. Gives a more fearsome look to him. Very stylish. On the back, we get this waving tail, and guess what? There are actually a couple parts in these sets that you can find even nowadays. This tail is exactly the same one as you find on crocodiles, or alligators, in modern LEGO sets. The same exact piece hooks up in the back of this, and can swivel back and forth. On the other side, we still have the wing. On the top, we have 2 studs, or more like 4 studs open, so we can sit our minifigure on top of here. You could also have him standing if you want to. The arms on here can be found in some, not really much modern sets nowadays, but there were a couple other sets that do feature these kinds of arms, even after this theme, and before this theme. Definitely before this theme. We do have a fire-breathing piece on here, and that's actually the same piece as the old version of fire. The reason why that works is we have these little pins, you see them very closely on the sides. Once you put those on top, they'll make it simulate he's breathing fire. This dragon was probably used maybe 1 or 2 times after this set's release. I don't recall how many times, but I definitely remember in Orient Expedition he was used as a golden dragon. Not black, but black and gold. The headpiece on this is also removable, and it's actually the same as the crocodile headpiece. Same exact one. So what I find very interesting is how they reuse these parts for other animal figures. This is definitely one of my favorites, small sets, because you're not going to find this nowadays. I was actually surprised to find it even then in a small set. Usually a dragon like this would not be found so easily in a small set. At least after the Fright Nights series. The Fright Nights are the ones that had Basil the Bat Lord. They had a couple dragons in some cheap sets as well as some expensive sets. But around this time period of this set, and even after that, they became more expensive in different sets. This is an excellent set from Knight's Kingdom. I know it lacks in pieces, but it really makes up with it in its rarity, so I do appreciate it. There are a lot of other sets from Knight's Kingdom that are in this $5 area, as I mentioned earlier. The only other one that I have is the dungeon. So if you'd like to see that set, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and we will see you next time.